Hey, Leo.
Hey Jim, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I'm in the hotel room. I hope you're okay with that.
Sure.
I was just quickly looking at your LinkedIn profile, and we had a brief conversation in the past.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think you were coming to town, and you weren't able to meet. We were supposed to do coffee, and I think you ran over on some other meetings. So.
okay. Well, I'm still in Ottawa, heading to Quebec on Thursday. So I'm still here, but tied up with meetings. I have a client coming to the hotel room shortly. So let's quickly talk about what you're doing and what we're hoping to accomplish on this call.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had sent me a note. You had said something about there were some people, one of your roofers. There might be an opportunity for us to, uh, I guess, share or something. But
Yeah,
so first of
well,
all,
that's the client that's going to be here shortly. So
okay,
it's
first
a
of
roofing
all, I mean,
company.
I don't think we've ever talked. Like, what is it that you do, and like, why are we having these calls? I guess what's the
Okay,
intent?
good question. This particular client is in the roofing industry, residential roofing, and he's been in business for 24 years. We're redesigning his company. We're getting him additional talent. We're hiring salespeople. We're hiring roofing technicians. We're creating an aggressive marketing system for him. And we're redesigning the business so they can franchise across
Oh,
Canada
wow.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a company that's growing pretty fast, or will be growing pretty
Okay, you
fast.
just went into, you're cutting out.
Okay. This is a company that will be growing pretty fast, and I'm wondering how you can help with this project and other projects.
Right, okay. And then, so what do you do?
Well, I'm in the consulting industry. I help companies to become more profitable.
So you basically farm out your services to these companies
We
and
have
that,
30 subcontractors that do different parts of the job. Yeah. We're
okay.
hiring a PR company, marketing company to do work on for this company, redesigning the websites, creating a better online presence. We're hiring another company to do an operating system for the company, so to track leads and workflow through the company. So yeah, so we're doing a lot of different things.
Okay, interesting. So you wanted me to give you an overview of what I'm doing and a
Yes,
little bit of
yes.
background. So I'm an IT guy. So I mean, I've been doing IT consulting for, 25, 30, probably over 30 years now. Part of that though too is I also started getting involved in real estate,
Okay.
and I grew my real estate portfolio really fast back in 2008, 9, 10. Of course, I think I had about 100 properties at one time. Then the whole subprime crisis hit, slowly trickled up to Canada. I had a lot of my properties. I lost everything back then.
Oh,
I went back into consulting for a while. I did a little development project. I'm getting older, so I think I'm getting tired of negotiating with clients, working with tenants, and trying to put deals together. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to focus more on putting my skills to use, sort of like you are in the consulting sense, in the sense,
okay.
but my focus is on real estate, people wanting to become real estate investors, right? And I know there's a ton of competition out there, but I still think looking at what I've spent in the past, a large amount of money for getting some of these programs, and I still think there's a market there. And so what I've done is I've written 3 books on real estate investing. I've got my strategies book, I've got my lease option book, and I have one more for people that are interested in doing passive investments. So I've since built an online platform for delivering the product. So I have 3 tiers of products. The first one is an online course where they go and they do it themselves. The second one I'm going to be launching is a group coaching approach. And then the third one I'm going to be launching, which is I'm working on right now, is the one-on-one consulting, right? Where I'm going to talk to people and show them how they can become real estate investors and basically grow a portfolio. I did 100 deals in 3 years, and so that's sort of my pitch to everybody,
Okay.
right?
And,
Because
and as so how that would tie in, and now I remember why we wanted to have this conversation.
okay,
When these companies um, become successful and start earning more money, that money goes into the balance sheet. Now we need to invest that money in the balance sheet into real estate, stocks and bonds and so on. So that's why I asked for the initial
Ah,
conversation.
okay. Yeah, and I mean that's sort of what I do too. My target market isn't like these like there's forums out there called Bigger Pockets, and there's a lot of people that are looking at the get rich quick real estate approach. I'm more focused on people that are business owners, that are professionals, that are looking to get in real estate but don't have the time or don't
Right.
know or don't want to spend the time learning necessarily. So I come in and coach them. So my typical client would be, let's say, a small business owner, or like I had a guy, a dentist, right? He had 80 uh, employees and he had like 5 practices. He wants to get out of all that because he's just killing himself. And
Right.
so he's looking at real estate. So that's my typical client. People that are making, $100,000, let's say, who could, number one, can afford my course, and number two, who are looking at either enhancing or adding to their current income, like adding another income stream through real estate investing, or
Okay.
replacing it altogether. Because as you know, a lot of people that are employed, like, and I'm thinking, like, my background's IT, right? So I think I can resonate good with people that are in the IT industry, looking at possibly engineers, and then moving up into small business owners or anybody in the what I would call the C-level type of positions that are looking at doing real estate, but again, don't have the time to learn, and I can help show them how to do that without a lot of effort on their
Okay.
part, or not necessarily not a lot of effort, but without having to go through the pain of learning and failing.
Okay. So do these businesses necessarily have an exit strategy in place? Because I think that's where I might be able to help you.
Yeah, I mean, when you say these businesses, the business owners I'd be talking to,
Yep.
yeah, no, they're pretty much a lot of these people would be lost. So for example, engineers, IT guys, they're very technical. They don't really have a plan. They're working their 9 to 5 job. They're making 120, 150,000 a year, so they've got a good income, and they're trying to invest their money in RSPs and in stocks, and that's in bonds, and that's just not doing it for them, right?
Right. Okay.
So what's happened is, in my target age group is like people 30 to 55. So, because after 55, then real estate for a lot of these people gets to be a bit risky, and they sort of shy away from it. So yeah, so it's a retirement strategy, if that's what you meant by exit strategy.
Yep.
There's a retirement strategy portion to it, absolutely.
Okay.
And I could show people how to, like, my expertise was always finding deals and finding money, right? Going out and finding investors for these deals. So joint venture partners, right? A lot of people think they need to save, 50, 60, 70,000 and then go out and buy a rental property and let that grow over 20 years. Well, to me, that's not the right strategy. I prefer to do short-term wins, and then they can invest in the more income-producing strategies, so partner with people doing fix and flips or lease
Okay.
options or wholesaling, right? Become an active real estate investor.
Okay. And speaking of that, I like the way you think. I have a client in Toronto who is a actually two clients in Toronto who are contractors,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of fix and flips. So
Okay.
we partnered them with investors. So we could partner them with you or your investors, and they would do the hands-on flipping part of it
Right.
after there's an overall strategy. There's also another concept that we use called conceptual investing, where we use either industrial M2 type zoning properties to take them to highest and best use,
Yeah.
or in this case, office space. There's going to be an abundance of office space coming available,
Yeah.
or is available now, that we need to retweak our strategies to take advantages of those office space that are currently available. So creating strategies like that to get a nice return. To give you an example, we did one, it was an M2 zoning. We bought a property for 1.2, sold it for 2.4, 10 months later. So those are, and that's what I mean, and that is
Hi-
a typical strategy about conceptual investing.
Yeah. Highest and
There's
best use. Absolutely.
so there's a lot of properties available right now, especially with M2 zoning, that are not being utilized for those strategies, and especially for the office space as well.
Mhm.
So um, we don't have a lot of time to be talking more in depth like that, but let's think about how we can pull our resources, pull our clients, because if your clients had a better exit strategy and they could concentrate on what you're teaching them, because what you're trying to teach them, they're going to think, well, I still have a foot in the business, or I still have my body in the business. And to have their minds clear to focus on what you're trying to do, unless you clear their minds, the information you're trying to give them is going to bounce off of them because they're still tied to their business. So
Yeah,
if we find an exit strategy or a strategy where they can focus on investing instead of their business, you could probably have a better client.
yeah, and I mean the progress I promote is from a part-time investor to a full-time investor to a passive investor, right?
Right.
They do this part-time until they can get to a point where they're comfortable with the amount of money they're earning doing real estate investing. Then they go to full-time, which is when they can really scale, and to the point where they're taking all that money and invested into long-term investments like apartment buildings, for example, and then they use those as a passive investment, or you know, private equities, whatever they are more comfortable with, and then they become a passive investor. Then they can fully retire, right? So, and you know, that's usually in my time frame. That's about a 3-year stint, is what I'm telling them.
Okay.
Right.
And if we utilize some of our strategies, that 3 years could probably reduce to 6 months or 12 months.
Okay.
Okay. So we can probably get them to be a full-time investor a lot shorter if they do something with their business.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's leave the conversation here. Think about some of these strategies. Let's book another call. If you have time, you're in Ottawa. Whereabouts in Ottawa are you?
Hunt Club.
Hunt Club. I don't know where that is.
It's on
I'm
the
at
way
the
to the airport.
Fairmount today. So
Where's the Fairmont downtown?
right downtown, right
Yeah,
near the
I'm out.
Parliament building.
Yeah, I'm out
Orleans
at the
way
airport.
or the other
No,
way?
no, no, no. Right, like you would pass my place on the way to the airport. I'm like right off the airport parkway on Hunt Club.
I see.
It's called the area is called Hunt Club. So
Hunt Club, Ariane, can you look that up for me? Okay, let's leave it here. I'll send you a text, or let's communicate this afternoon, this evening, or tomorrow, and let's see if we can take this conversation to the next level.
okay, thanks, Leo.
Thanks, Jim. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.